We begin our report with one trial underway and another on pause for former President Trump. Federal Judge Aileen Cannon has indefinitely postponed the Justice Department's classified documents case against Trump in Florida. It was originally scheduled to begin May 20th. This case, which was unlikely to begin before the presidential election this November, now seems even less so. Meanwhile, in New York, adult film actress Stormy Daniels testified in Trump's criminal case Tuesday about how she met the former president at a celebrity golf tournament in 2006. She also gave details, maybe too many details, about their alleged sexual encounter and the subsequent non-disclosure agreement she entered into afterward. The $130,000 payment to silence Daniels, paid by Trump's former attorney and fixer Michael Cohen, is at the center of the case. The former president has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records to cover up the payment and has denied an encounter with Daniels. His attorneys asked the judge to declare a mistrial over Daniels' testimony. However, that request was quickly denied. Trump spoke briefly to the press after the court adjourned for the day.
This was a very big day, a very revealing day. As you see, their case is totally falling apart. They have nothing on books and records, and even something that should bear very little relationship to the case. It's just a disaster for the DA.
We are going to work on trying to figure out what happened in both the New York and Florida cases. Our Katrina Kaufman is standing by, but we begin with Scott MacFarlane. Scott, why did Cannon make this decision?
Judge Cannon is expressing some concerns about the complexity of this case, and she's saying there are all these legal challenges and issues she's got to sort out, some thorny legal issues, and they're intertwined with the distinctive classified records complications of a case that alleges a former president not only unlawfully retained but potentially exposed the nation's secrets. Put together, she says that May trial date is just not tenable. And what's more, John, she didn't set a new date. She didn't put a date later on the calendar to keep everybody on task or everybody on pace. This thing is now off the calendar, which raises the prospect this can take many, many months to get back on track. The idea that this trial happens before the election was always a tenuous one. Right. That idea seems to be far-fetched or farcical at this point.
Scott MacFarlane in Washington. Thank you very much, Scott. Now let's bring in CBS News campaign reporter and attorney Katrina Kaufman, who was inside the courtroom Tuesday in Manhattan. Katrina, before we get to the action in Manhattan, any reaction to the Cannon case? As Scott said, this wasn't likely to make it before the election anyway.
I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised. I was at the hearing where we discussed the trial date in early March, and she has seemed to have no urgency when it comes to setting a date for this case. But, you know, it's been not a great few weeks for Jack Smith between the Supreme Court arguments on immunity and now this indefinite trial postponement in Florida.
And just to remind people, and then we'll move on quickly to New York, the reason, if it doesn't happen before the election and Donald Trump gets reelected, Justice Department cases go away. Correct,
yeah. He can't do anything about the state charges, but the federal charges, he could.
Now to the state charges in New York. Why is Stormy Daniels, everybody knows the name, but why is the testimony of Stormy Daniels important to the case?
So one could argue that perhaps the prosecution didn't need quite so much testimony from Stormy Daniels, but really she's related to two different aspects of the prosecution's case. One, we have the falsification of business records, which are really for Trump supposedly falsifying documents when he paid back Michael Cohen, but Michael Cohen's payment was to Stormy Daniels, supposedly to keep her silent in the days leading up before the 2016 election. And then in addition to that, the prosecution is also trying to prove this underlying second charge, which is that election fraud was committed. And part of that is the catch and kill scheme, which again is Stormy Daniels' story being suppressed by Donald Trump leading up to the election in order to help his candidacy. So with her testimony, they're really trying to present the story to the jury of who this woman is, how she first met Donald Trump, and what happened between them, as well as the history of their relationship.
Trump's defense lawyers called for a mistrial. What was that about?
So Stormy Daniels said a lot in court today. She shared a lot of details. She spoke very fast. During the first half of the day, the judge kept trying to curb that. He asked her to speak slower because also when the objections would come in, she was going so fast that basically by the time he sustained them, she had already answered the question. And she was just sharing so much color. But when they asked for the mistrial, he said, well, he did feel like too much detail was shared. It wasn't enough for a mistrial. And he also chastised the defense, and he said, why weren't you objecting more? At one point, the judge himself actually stopped her from saying something, and he pointed that out. He said, at one point, I sua sponte, it's called, objected to what she was saying because you weren't doing it. So he did say that there is some responsibility on them, and he offered to give a limiting instruction to the jury related to certain testimony, which the sides are still working out.
And then just super briefly, the cross-examination happened today. It'll happen again Thursday.
Yes.
What was the tenor of that?
That was extremely tense. I was in the courtroom. The tension was palpable. Susan Nicholas, who is one of Trump's defense attorneys, who does not often speak in court but is known for being a top-notch defense lawyer, really went after Stormy Daniels. She was just showing a lot of what she called inconsistencies in her story, things that she had said on the stand, and then she was bringing out Stormy Daniels' book and showing passages that perhaps relayed the story slightly differently. So she's really doing everything she can to impeach her credibility, to show inconsistencies in what she's saying.
Katrina Kaufman, thank you again, as always.
Thank you.